Hallo YouTube und herzlich willkommen zurück zu einer neuen Week of Play zu Foolish Mortals. Das Game hat schon Tiefe, muss man sagen, und wir haben viel herausgefunden im letzten Part und gehen jetzt weiter auf Erkundungsjagd durch das Dorf
What a
hier.
nice young man. Isn't he, Granny?
Blub.
I couldn't have put it better myself.
Humor ist top. Schauen wir mal, ob hier... Ja, ich dachte doch schon, dass sind die Türen offen. Da kann man tatsächlich... Da ist zuerst ein Innenhof. Oh. Oh. Was ist hier los? Haben wir hier?
Courtyard echoed with the trickling noise of a small fountain.
Ja.
There was nothing in the fountain except a rim of moss and dirt that made it look like a stained toilet.
Was ist das hier?
I glanced at the ledger on the podium. It was mostly empty. The words I could see were written in such an unreadable scrawl that looked like a centipede had dipped its legs in ink and skittered across the page. The maitre d' stood behind a tall podium, peering down at a ledger in front of him. The maitre d' stood behind the podium with his nose... He seemed to be doing everything he could to pretend I wasn't there.
Okay. Da kommen wir nicht rein, ne? So einfach geht das nicht.
You can't go up there. It's for members only.
Ja, ist klar. Es war klar. Es war klar. Wie werde ich
It was a
Member?
fancy elevator with a curious layout. Good evening. He looked past me like I was invisible, as though if he ignored me hard enough, there was a chance I'd disappear. I said good evening?
I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were talking to me.
There's no one else
Okay.
here.
Wishful thinking on my part. Have you taken a wrong turn, sir?
I'm just having a look around.
Well, make it a quick one, and I shall need to know your name.
Murphy McAllen, and who do I have the pleasure of speaking to?
My name is Felix Greer, maitre d', bartender, and acting manager of the Captain's Club. When Mr. Perkins has the night off?
Ja, ich habe eine Idee. Ich brauche ein Foto.
What is this place?
This, sir, is the Captain's Club, a private members club for current and retired sea and riverboat captains. We are highly exclusive. Are you a captain?
He asked with a smugness that told me he already knew the answer.
I thought not. Then may I recommend a swift exit? You'll find a convenient egress to your starboard side. If you like, I can give you a good swift kick in the right direction, sir. And don't feel a need to stop walking until your ankles get soggy.
I'm looking for the lost treasure
Bruder.
of Belmore Manor.
Oh, goody! Another young adventurer seeking fame, fortune, or some combination of the two. Just the local color Dead Nettle has been lacking.
Das ist aber ein
What
bisschen
do you know about the
rude.
lost treasure?
Do you think you're living in a storybook? Weathered maps, talking parrots? X marks the spot? Grow up, you silly boy. Captaincy is a noble skill that doesn't need to be trivialized with childish tales of lost treasure.
Ja.
You must have some thoughts on the disappearance.
On moonlit nights, when the waves crash against the rocks, the captains of this club trade yarns about this very mystery. Did you know Abigail Belmore's fiancé was a sailor who worked on the ships? Some of the
Lustig.
old boys here even worked with him. They say he loved her, as true as a captain loves the sea. But she was a temptress, a siren. She scuttled that sailor's heart, consumed by a voodoo premonition that she had to fulfill. More beautiful than a mermaid, and twice as fishy.
What did she do?
After months of engagement, she broke it off and chose to marry an officer of the company instead, on their very wedding day.
Why did she do that?
The rumors I've heard are that they discovered something in the Caribbean, something wicked, something that consumed them and drove them to heinous acts. The Belmore brothers swore their crew to secrecy, and the men were loyal to their word. But the rot in the rope was that sister, Abigail. People say that whatever they discovered took hold of her. With the sailor's broken heart and the officer's resources, she was about to unleash something terrible. Until the disappearance halted her evil plans.
Do you think that's true?
Of course not, it's all nonsense. But the captains do love to outperform each other with such tales on a dull evening.
Ja. Gute Geschichte für ein
What makes you
Abendessen.
think I'm not a captain?
For one thing, you lack the grizzle, the crustiness, the essential R of a captain.
How do I get those?
Years of exposure to saltwater and a sullen, uncooperative crew, I should think. Do you even have a boat?
Actually, I did have one earlier this evening, but an alligator fell on it. Admittedly, it was only 3 inches long.
It isn't the size that matters, sir. It's the motion
Das
of the
stimmt.
ocean. Tell me, have you ever captained a three-rigger through a tropical typhoon? Have you ever run the rapids of the Mississippi without hitting a single reef? Wind in your sails? Fire in your furnace? Waves beneath your keel?
Have you?
Nope.
Well, it's a little complicated.
In what way?
I get seasick.
Bruder.
Is there any way to prove I'm a captain?
You might show me your captain's license. As I'm sure you know, the state of Louisiana requires all captains of both river and sea to carry one. But don't try to foist off a fake on me. Last week, we had someone present a license with a photograph distinctly unlike their contemporary appearance. The photograph was clearly of someone a good deal older than them, with more facial hair, and most importantly, one less eye.
You know, I quite like being out at sea.
Oh, really, sir?
Bobbing along the ocean waves, up and down, like one of those roller coasters at Luna Land. Up and down, and up and down.
If sir would please be quiet. Else I expect there'll be a few waves of something coming out of my mouth any moment.
Ja, das ist natürlich, ne?
Is the club
Schwierig.
busy tonight?
Well, we haven't opened yet, but if it's like last week, it'll be quite the lively soiree. I could barely keep up.
The members here like to have a good time.
That's right, sir. Both of them. This town sure isn't what it used to
Both
be.
of them.
What's
of them.
happened to Dead Nettle?
Do you think you've wandered into the Tourist Information Center? I can assure you, you'll never meet a tourism official who dresses with this much panache. Stuart LePew, head of the Devil's Rock Historical Society, looks like a thrift store had a crisis of conscience and threw up on him.
I was just hoping to talk to someone so obviously knowledgeable about the area.
Well, yes, that is true. I am plagued with an encyclopedic knowledge of the locality. My concierge duties require it. I have a spiel.
Felix pushed out his chest like this was his moment in the limelight, his eyelids half closing as he performed before imagined crowds.
Welcome, hardy traveler, to our quaint port town of Dead Nettle. Once this town you see around you was a hub of commerce, a beacon for ships bravely navigating between America, Europe, and the Caribbean. With the unfortunate dissolution of the Belmore Trading Company, our town has settled into a quieter life, perfect for the sailor ready to hang up their cap. We hope that you enjoy your time in our cozy town and perhaps explore some of the local sites here in Dead Nettle.
Geht doch.
Well,
Excuse me?
I was expecting applause.
Ja, das war doch schon deutlich freundlicher.
I'd best be casting off.
Don't feel the need to rush
Ah, ich
back,
muss weg.
sir.
Lass mich raten.
Members only.
Ja. Gut, dann haben wir noch eine Tür hier, die wir entdecken können.
Murphy
Oh.
McAllen, so you're
Ooh.
still here. What have you been up to? Anything newsworthy?
That's none of your business. Don't think I've forgotten your trick with the telegram.
Hey, it's nothing personal. Your business is my business, and my business is news. I'm Evelyn Stoker, editor of the Juniper Parish Gazette. No misdeed left unshared, no drama left unmonetized. Come on, work with me here, McAllen. I need something juicy. Committed any crimes? Uncovered any affairs? Any deep, personal secrets to reveal?
The honest-to-God truth? No.
I need a good story. I can't let something minor like the truth stand in the way of that.
Ich traue ihr nicht, aber ich glaube, das ist vom Spiel gewollt. Das ist schon trustworthy. Wir haben hier Schnur.
I picked up the twine. With her stunt at the bayou, I figured she owed me one.
Ja, und wir können die Schere.
I picked up the scissors. Maybe she owed me two.
Schere in den Chat. Kappa. Was kann man hier?
Don't even think about it. The spring on that
Natürlich.
printing press looks like it's going to blow at any moment.
It was a big, fancy printing press, which must have cost a fortune decades ago, but was now very much out of date.
Was haben wir hier?
I didn't want to get ink all over me trying to carry the canister around. On the floor was a large canister filled with dark black printer's ink. Around it, the floor was stained with ink splatters.
Ja, gut, Tinte. Was haben wir hier bei den Aktenschränken noch zu?
Hey, you can't come back here.
Okay.
Sorry.
Nicht dich irgendwie loswerden.
Yes?
Hi! What are you working on?
Oh,
One
ich
of the
brauche ein
most
Foto.
romantic articles this newspaper's ever seen. Francois Fogg, Dead Nettle's local pharmacist, is reuniting with his long-lost love after 14 years apart, thanks to this newspaper's personal ads column.
What a lovely story.
That's right. She mailed in a letter she wanted printed. Her former sweetheart saw it, and now they're on track to see each other again. Eventually.
Eventually?
Well, that's a bit of an administrative issue. In the letter we received,
Okay.
she told him to meet her in her Texas hometown of Magnolia. Due to a
Yeah.
tiny typesetting error, he's now on a 6-week voyage to Mongolia. But doesn't it warm your
Oh,
heart how far people
shit.
will go for love?
What the heck?
Don't you have more interesting stories to write about?
The crackpots this island calls a population wouldn't know something interesting if they paid for it. Which they hardly do. Believe me, I've tried to get juicier stories. Scouring the island, doorstop interviews, hiding under windows.
You eavesdrop on people through their windows?
It's called investigative reporting.
Ja, genau. Ganz
I'm
genau.
doing some research on the treasure of Belmore Manor.
Have you found it?
Well, no, not yet. I've just started
Oh,
looking.
okay.
Then
Ich
don't
dachte, du
waste my
spoilerst.
time. Come back when you've got the goods.
I not
Ja.
believe this, but I saw a ghost inside Belmore Manor.
You know what? You're right, McAllen. I don't believe it.
Ah, okay.
Really? You've been on this island how long? And you're already starting to sound as loopy as a local.
Have you ever written an article on the disappearance at Belmore Manor?
What a waste of column inches. Leave it. That's my advice. There's no story in it.
No story.
Not one that anyone would believe. And I've got advertisers breathing down my neck.
What do you think went on?
Practically everyone on this island thinks there was some kind of sorcery involved. No one is looking at the reality. If I write up my research, no one on the island will believe me. If I write their wackadoodle theories, I'll be laughed out of the industry.
Okay. Ja,
You
aber
can
hast
tell
du
me
nichts
what you've
herausgefunden?
uncovered about Belmore Manor. Trust
Ja?
me, at this point, few things would surprise me.
I heard the Belmore Trading Company was losing revenue. Its profits eaten up by who knows what ventures those brothers had going on.
Aha.
I've seen the records. The company was privately owned, sure. But when you've got pressure building and the sharks are circling, you've got to shore up your defenses. I think that's why the Belmores persuaded Abigail to marry John Rackham.
Marry someone
Ach
she didn't
so.
love.
But he didn't love her either. He was just after the company, so he hires the sailor to seduce her, convince her there's more to life than Devil's Rock. And as soon as she marries Rackham, they split, never to see each other again. He inherits the lot, and she disappears with her lover boy sailor to who knows where.
But why do you think all the
Okay.
guests disappeared?
They bumped them off to cover their tracks. Either one of them could have been sunning it up in Sarasota ever since. But imagine me writing that into a piece of serious journalism.
Das ist eine Erklärung. Aber ich brauche ein Foto.
Would you take my photograph?
Do you know how much the chemicals cost to develop those photographs? I'm on
Ach,
a
komm
limited
jetzt.
budget here, McAllen. Unless you've done something notable, you're not getting into print.
Scheiße.
Did you know Comptroller Grimes?
How could I forget him? The guy was a walking, talking migraine generator.
Surely you shouldn't speak of the dead like that.
Why not? I spoke plenty worse about him when he was alive. Anyway, I'm sure everything happens for a reason. And hopefully that reason is to increase my circulation numbers. Everything's connected, you know? Have you ever heard of the butterfly effect? I suspect
Yep.
it works for moths too, because I can never get the damn things out of here. Some people say that if a man breaks wind in Alabama, it can cause a hurricane in Fiji.
I think I shared a train car with that guy on my way here. What's in those filing cabinets?
Past issues of the paper, going all the way back to 1858. Of course, things were a lot more interesting when Dead Nettle was thriving. People, ships, and cargo coming and going. Lots to report on back then. More than the dregs I have to dress up now.
Ja, und kannst du nicht mal einen Blick
Why did the
reinwerfen
ship
lassen?
stop coming to Dead Nettle?
The Belmore Trading Company was the heartbeat of this island. After the disappearance, there was no one left to run the company, and it all got sold off. When that folded, so did pretty much everything else.
Okay.
Do you have any back issues featuring the Belmore Manor wedding?
We don't, I'm afraid. Most of the paper's directors were at the wedding, and disappeared along with everyone else. The newspaper had to close up shop for months while it was restaffed. This was back when the Gazette wasn't run by just one person.
Okay.
I think I better be going.
Keep your eyes peeled for a story, McAllen. There are secrets on the island, and it's my job to run advertisements next to them.
Hanging
Ja?
on a peg at the far side of the room was a battered flashbulb camera. There was no way I was going to get past the newspaper editor to get it. Besides, I didn't know how to operate it.
Yes?
Hi! I've got a story for you. A big one. There are rum runners at the old church.
Keep your voice down, Motormouth. Do you want us to end up in the obituaries?
I thought you wanted a real scoop for the Gazette.
I do, just not one that gets me on the wrong side of the mob in the process. Pigeon elected mayor, cow does the high jump. Those are the types of stories that get eyes on the front pages.
But I thought journalists had a duty towards truth, justice, and society.
Where'd you get that poppycock idea? My duty is towards the circulation numbers. And while I'd love a shocker of a story, I'd rather not become the story, if you catch my drift.
Okay, du willst das
I
nicht.
think I better be going.
I've got my eye on you, McAllen.
Gut, was haben wir gekriegt? Wir haben Schere, wir haben Schnur. Ist irgendwie alles nicht so, dass... Ja gut, ich kann versuchen... Was haben wir denn sonst noch hier? Zeig mal an, was gibt's noch? Das haben wir alles gesehen. Das hilft uns nicht weiter. Ja... Vielleicht mit dem... Katzen stehen doch mega auf das hier, oder?
Cat seemed too entranced by the light to notice me dangling a ball of twine out for it.
Schade. Also ich muss irgendwie Kätzchen ablenken da, ne?
There wasn't anything to do with the lantern. On the wall, an electric lantern glowed brightly.
Kann ich da wirklich? Kann ich mit dem Magneten?
I couldn't do that.
Kann ich den Magneten an eine
That wasn't
Schnur?
going to work.
Schade. Kann ich mir einen Faden
Twine would
abschneiden?
be more useful to me intact.
Ja. Ja, was hat man noch? Was hat man noch? Wir hatten hier noch Mühle. Ne? Gehen wir mal zur Mühle. Mühle, genau. Extras Mühle. Geh mal rein da. Das können wir in der Mühle anstellen. Auch nicht wahnsinnig viel, ne? Tja. Das ist halt die Frage, wie können wir hier Progress machen? Das,
Nope. That didn't work.
natürlich nicht.
I couldn't do that.
Ja, hier können wir
That
die.
didn't work.
Na, dann ist Mühle wahrscheinlich auch nicht wirklich gut.
It was a ramshackle chicken coop.
Die Bretter, was kann man mit den Brettern?
The wood was old and rotting. It wasn't going to be of any use. And who knew what critters might have made their homes inside the pile? A pile of rotting wood.
Ja. Was haben wir? Was haben wir? Mit dem Magneten können wir...
I didn't need to wear the brooch, and obviously its red stone wouldn't suit my jade complexion.
Das stimmt natürlich, da hast du recht.
I couldn't do.
Das kann ja nicht sein, dass ich nur eine Zutat habe bis jetzt. Und das ist das, was im Inventar lag. Gut, den waren wir. Am Strand war nix, ne? Nein. Hey! War die Flasche da schon da, als ich das letzte Mal da war? Oder wurde die angespült?
As I picked up the bottle, I anticipated what could be inside. A brine-stained treasure map, perhaps, or a scribbled plea from a castaway desperately awaiting rescue. Looking inside, I found it was empty. The only writing on it was the embossed glass letters of the Orangello Soda Company.
Ja. Aber weißt du was? Ich habe eine Idee, was da reinkommt. Nämlich Rum. Und da rum gehen wir jetzt hier zur Kirche. Dann haben wir doch schon mal Rum. Das heißt, wir können jetzt hier wieder den Korken entfernen. Wie viele Korken hat er eigentlich dabei, du? Einige. Super. Dann haben wir die Flasche dabei und können hier Rum mitnehmen. Wunderbärchen.
I filled the bottle with rum pouring from the barrel. Relief washed over me at the realization that I'd done it without getting caught by the two rum runners.
Oh.
Hey, Musket! There's someone out here!
Or so I thought.
Hey, fella, what do you think you're doing snooping around here? This is our church, you know, and it's closed.
I'm just here to do some praying. Mainly
Ja,
praying
genau.
that I get out of this situation without a puncture wound.
He's being a wise guy, Musket.
I'm the villain full of lead.
But boss, it's bad luck to bump someone off in a churchyard.
Now, where'd you hear a nonsensical thing like that?
I thought churches was hallowed ground, where sin and immorality would face supernatural punishment in this world or the next.
Where do you get this stuff from? I told you, I do the thinking in this partnership.
Ja, ich würde sagen... Okay. Das ist safe. Gut, wir machen mal hier rum in das Täschle.
Poured the rum into the gree-gree.
Das hättest du eigentlich auch vorher schon machen können. Aber... Ja, egal. Lassen wir das. Gut, dann haben wir da mal Progress. Das ist doch gar nicht so schlecht. Aber ich glaube, ja, wir gehen jetzt mal auf den Friedhof schauen, ob sich da was getan hat. Ne? Ich glaube...
I thought I'd leave Edgar
Ja.
alone for now.
Also du bist hier das ist schön, dass du hier am Arbeiten bist. Jetzt hier, dieser Sarg ist...
A mischievous idea began to form in my mind. Hey, I think the guy inside here might still be alive.
And why would you think something like that?
The coffin was just shaking around. Maybe you should open it up.
Well, I didn't see it move.
The gravedigger had me in a conundrum. I could hardly start shaking it right in front of his eyes.
And unless the body inside starts jiggling around, I'm not opening up that coffin.
Okay, ich muss ihn überzeugen.
I didn't need to blow on that.
Ich muss ihn davon überzeugen, dass der Tisch hier wackelt.
Nope. I didn't want the gravedigger to catch me putting it back. I decided to hang on to it for now.
Ja. Aber wie?
I couldn't do that.
Wie kann ich den Tisch bewegen, ohne dass er das merkt?
That wasn't going to work. A coffin sat upon a rickety-looking table with one leg shorter than the others.
Ja, mit einer Schnur vielleicht? Ist die da? Ja, das ist es. Okay. Verstehe.
I tied the twine to the uneven table and took up a hiding spot behind a nearby wall. It was time to wake the dead.
Ach du Scheiße, ist das gemein.
Hello? Why is it so dark in here?
Huh? Who's that?
I'm stuck. Help! Help!
Mallory, if that's you again.
Get me out of this thing.
Oh no, not again.
Geil. Oh.
Mister, are you okay? I'm so sorry. I was told... Mister? Oh, God darn it! Next time I see that girl, I'm gonna have a peewee-sized coffin all ready for her. A few hours locked in one of those should adjust her sense of humor.
Gehst jetzt weg, Bro? Die Nägel. Ja, die Nägel, die Nägel, die Nägel. Gib mir die Nägel. Ja.
I picked up the handful of discarded coffin nails from the tin.
Nice. Gut, die kombinieren wir auch. sogleich mit unserem
Place the
Kriegerin.
coffin nails in the gree-gree.
Jetzt schauen wir noch kurz rein da, ne?
Searching the dead man's body was not something I wanted to do. I'd never seen a dead body before.
Jetzt noch neue Hotspots? Nee. Wollen wir noch mal mit ihm reden hier oder haben wir durch? Oh, Entschuldigung.
Who is it you're burying?
This is Theodore Grimes. He was the...
Comptroller for Juniper Parish?
That's right. You know him?
We were supposed to have a meeting. Clearly
Oh.
he's going to miss it.
Sure is. Now he's the late Comptroller Grimes.
Oh,
I'd best be
okay.
running along.
Goodbye.
Ja. Cool. Wir haben einiges schon eingesammelt. Ja. Wo sollen wir denn als nächstes hin? Also Strand, glaube ich, ist durch. Hier weiß ich noch nicht genau. Ich gehe mal zum Manor. Oh, da waren wir noch nicht, ne?
From the patina of rust, it was clear the patio set hadn't been used in decades. Ouch!
Oh,
So much
Okay.
for good luck. I picked up the horseshoe that had assaulted me. It was heavy, as the bump on my head attested.
das war goldrichtig, hier hinzugehen. Und ich habe eine Idee. Wir hatten doch da was mit diesem Fisch. Der war aber nicht genug schwer, oder? Und so ein Hufeisen ist doch schwer.
Ripped seam as an opening. I placed the
Ja.
horseshoe inside the taxidermy fish. Now it was heavy.
Wunderbärsche. Und damit geht's zurück zum Fischer. Und jetzt müssten wir ihn beeindrucken können, ne?
The stories about Belmore Manor are true. I saw the ghost bride inside the house.
Blast it, Murphy. Don't say I didn't warn you. This island has had its fair share of the macabre.
Ja, das ist tatsächlich recht, Bro.
Is to leave
Ja.
well enough alone. Why are you searching for that treasure anyway?
Well, it's my job. The state's claim on that money runs out at 8 a.m., and I'm supposed to find it.
You seem pretty passionate about something that's just for work. What are the odds you draw an assignment like that?
Well, I might have made my own luck there. They wouldn't normally authorize an investigation so close to the statute of limitations running out, especially on a 30-year-old cold case. But thrust a stack of forms in front of the boss 5 minutes before clocking off on a Friday afternoon, and he doesn't care what he's signing.
Let's just hope he wasn't signing your death warrant.
Most of my investigations don't amount to more than counting paper clips in a municipal building or going cross-eyed over receipt rolls in a courthouse. When I found that old case folder tucked behind the filing cabinet, its only lead, a water-stained magazine, talking about a real-life haunted house, how could I pass it up? I spoke with Dr. Morey. He thinks we can make contact with the ghosts.
Moray is a charlatan and a fool. Only got into hoodoo and voodoo a few years ago. Before that, he was an actor over at the Calliope Theater, and not a very good one. He's the only person I know who directed and starred in a one-person production of The Pirates of Penzance. And that's because all the rest of the cast dropped out rather than work with him. He's always been searching for respect and recognition. Who would have known he'd find it by living in the swamp and reeking of incense?
Don't you believe in voodoo?
I certainly do. I just don't think Moray's got any more control of it than the rooster has control of the sunrise. His understanding of voodoo amounts to whatever he's gleaned from one of those horror pictures Ventura Studios puts out at the movie palace. My mama used to know all about it. God rest her soul. Voodoo isn't some made-up Hollywood magic, Mac. Voodoo's a real religion. It's about community, about belonging, and about searching for something more than flesh and blood. It's not the snake oil he peddles.
Ja, hast du natürlich recht. Eben, er war mir schon von Anfang an sass.
What do you think happened at Belmore Manor?
Now there's a tale I don't like to tell.
Can I persuade you to tell it anyway?
I have a feeling I ain't gonna get any rest until I do. You know about Miss Belmore, the bride, engaged to
Yeah.
the sailor? Nah, the way I hear, Mr. Rackham was over the moon with her. Such an upstanding fella. I won't have a bad word said against him. Now he realized that the sailor was going through terrible lengths to ensnare his bride, and Mr. Rackham tried to save her. I heard that
Okay.
the sailor caught on to this and tricked Rackham into giving the lady a gift. That's what made
Okay.
everything go topsy-turvy.
What was the gift?
There are places in the Caribbean that trade things more elusive than gold. Ungodly things.
Do you think the disappearance was caused by voodoo?
And that's what my mama used to say. If you're not careful, that stuff can go to your head.
Yay.
No luck fishing?
Not a bite, Mac. The Pengoza fish just ain't snapping for me today. Shame, too, because I'm planning on firing up my grill later. And the tastiest catch in these waters.
Ich hab da schon was.
How do you catch a Pencoza fish?
With hours of patience and decades of practice. You ever wrestled a rod before?
Just the once. I went fishing on Lake Erie, but the only thing I caught was a cold. What do you do with the fish you catch?
A couple I save for myself, and the rest I sell to the captain's club. They fancy them up with lemon lobsters, slawfish, something or other. But everyone knows the best way to cook them is to grill them.
Das stimmt.
Why won't you hear a word against Mr. Rackham?
He gave me my first work on this island, right
Oh,
here
okay.
on these docks. And I'm still here to this day. He may have worn a scowl, but he don't judge a banana by its peel with people like him, man. When I looked into his eyes, all I saw was ambition.
What work did you
Okay.
do?
Loading and unloading the ships that came in. Of course, they just don't do that anymore. Dead Nettle's a forgotten town. Maybe that's for the best.
Catch you later, Ned.
See you around, Mac.
Gut. Ich müsste jetzt aber noch kurz hier Fischi wiegen, wenn du erlaubst, mein Bester. Das ist ein Brummer.
Mac, does that say what I think it does? You been holding back on me. That breaks Scribb's record.
McAllen! How does it feel to have decimated the town record in your first few hours on the island?
How did you hear about this so fast?
It's my job to know about things fast. Now, I'm asking
Habe ich
you
jetzt ein
questions
Foto
here.
oder was?
Where'd you get the fish, McAllen?
Well, it was a mighty battle on the southern coast.
Ja,
Its
ja, genau.
fin strong as a motor, its mouth as fierce as a tiger's. I paused dramatically to allow my fishing prowess to wash over them.
What rod did you use?
Wooden one?
I mean, what make?
You know, I didn't use a rod.
You caught the fish without a rod?
It was more one-on-one. Mono, fisho?
You wrestled a fish?
And I won.
Ja,
Well,
ich brauche
as
das
much as it
Foto.
pains me to say it, you're the cover story in the next edition of the Juniper Parish Gazette. And
Ja.
this is why I'm not getting a Pulitzer.
Give me the photo. Ich brauche das Foto.
I've got to hand it to you, Mac. That fish is a whopper. I don't know how you got it, but as long as it keeps Squid quiet at the porch party tomorrow, I ain't complaining.
Und das war's?
I decided to leave Ned to
Ja. Den lasse ich hier.
taxidermied fish hung on the dock scales, its weight significantly inflated by the heavy iron horseshoe hidden inside. I'd had enough of carrying these suspiciously heavy fish around. I decided to leave it there.
Kriege ich jetzt ein Foto? Also das will ich jetzt noch kurz wissen.
Murphy, have you
Yeah.
seen the cover of the evening edition? I think
Nein.
they caught your personality perfectly in that photograph. Naive,
Nice.
simple, unsophisticated. Makes it all the more surprising that you actually accomplished something.
I wonder if I should have it framed.
That'll cost you.
Ah, verstehe.
Hey, those cost money, you know.
But it has my photograph on it.
The Do Not Serve board down at Spinelli's bar has my photograph on it. But that doesn't mean I can just pick it up and walk out with it, does it?
Ja, okay, dann hier, nimm dein...
I'd like to buy a newspaper.
Finally, I get something out of you loitering in here. That'll be 1 cent, please.
Ja, perfekt, dass ich einen habe, ne?
I picked up the newspaper. The fewer people that saw it, the better. The headline read, "Island Newcomer Breaks Fishing Record," with my photograph printed in black and white.
Ja.
The headline read,
Ja, ist okay. Ich brauche eh nur das Foto. Soll ich nochmal mit dir reden?
Evelyn seemed busy and I didn't have anything
okay.
else to ask her.
Ja. Ich habe sowieso Besseres zu tun. Ich schneide jetzt hier mein Foto aus.
I cut my photograph out of the newspaper. It was the photograph of myself I'd cut out of the newspaper.
Ja,
Wish I'd
wunderbar.
posed better.
Ja.
It was the photograph of
Ja, okay. Das...
I was going to need something adhesive to stick it in with.
Oh. Es braucht noch Kleber. Ja, dann würde ich sagen, suchen wir im nächsten Part Kleber, ne? Haltet die Ohren steif. Bis dann. Tschö.